These boots are made for walking. These mouths are made for talking. Welcome to All Walks of Film. I'm Ren.
And this is Casey.
And today we're talking about the Kingsmen, where we wear Oxfords, not Bruges.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The Kingsmen service. Oh my god. Oh my god. Also, yes, I totally agree. Words to live by. Bruges are fugly. Just fuck those shoes. Oxfords all the fucking way. That's my kind of man. Fuck yeah.
Well, Oxfords cost more, so...
But they're nicer.
Yeah.
This movie's not that concerned about cost. They're more concerned about what looks right. And Oxfords look freaking good. So, Kingsman service. 2 words. Fuck yeah!
Yeah, fuck yeah. And this is directed by Matthew Vaughn.
And screenwritten and produced and, like, everything by Matthew Vaughn. Matthew Vaughn was, like, all over the credits. He did a bunch of stuff for this movie.
Yeah.
He partially wrote the screenplay. He was involved.
Okay. Yeah, and it's based on a comic of the same name.
A comic series.
Yes. And Matthew Vaughn has worked on 2 other comic book-based movies, starting out with Kick-Ass. And he also did X-Men First Class as well.
Right.
So he knows...
My favorite X-Men. Favorite X-Men. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Best X-Men in the series. I know some people say Days of Future Past, which is second best.
Yeah, if it weren't for...
Days of Future Past was good. But...
If it weren't for some of the logical stretches that it makes, especially with Magneto's powers controlling robots, I would have liked the movie better.
Thing. There's a certain line I think you shouldn't cross where even if it is possible, if it doesn't seem plausible, you should just stay away from it.
Yeah.
If it makes somebody do research into, no way does it, no, it's like, you ruin the movie.
Right, and there's a lot of shit in this movie that's kind of like that, but you can forgive it because it is a spy fantasy movie.
This movie is 100% self-aware.
Yeah.
Everything is very intentional. There's a lot of care put into the styling of it, which is why I'm such a sucker for it. I'm a sucker for stylistic movies. But everything is done so precisely and with so much intent that even the stuff that's like out there is so all planned and intentional.
Right.
And it works.
And Matthew Bond did this with Kick-Ass several years before, and I would like him to continue doing this with genre movies.
Surprisingly, I like Kingsman more than Kick-Ass. Surprisingly. I really liked Kick-Ass.
I really like Kick-Ass. I do believe I like Kick-Ass a little bit more.
Okay.
But I think the reason why I like it a little bit more is because I love Mindy and Big Daddy. And while Colin Firth was awesome in this movie...
Yeah. You know how different they made Big Daddy in the comic, right?
Yeah. I own
so messed up. Oh my god.
No.
But Kingsman Secret Service, I'm like you, where it's just a little bit more for me. Okay. It's not much. I like them close to equally, but the Kingsman, I liked a little bit more. So, hopping into the movie.
No.
Yes, it's from both of us. And there is stuff to spoil. You can spoil this movie.
Yeah, so right now we're going to probably get into spoilers.
Yeah, but
and
we both give this our blessing.
Yes.
Everybody in the world has given this movie their blessing pretty much.
Right, and I will just say that if you're into fun action movies, go out, see the movie, and then come back and listen to us. Because we don't want to ruin an experience for you unless you're somebody who doesn't mind spoilers.
Yeah, but there is stuff to spoil in this movie.
Yeah.
I would seriously advise against it. 50 Shades of Grey, there was nothing to spoil.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing to spoil. But this movie, like, really, just watch it if you can. Because there's some stuff in it that's shocking. And there's some stuff in it you don't want to know is coming. For real. So don't let us spoil it.
Right.
So,
we start out with the opening credits, and I remember at first
the rubble turns into the credits. So
yeah,
cool!
I remember when I saw
it was
the
like
rubber...
Legos. It was like in the Lego video games when like you hit the ground and Legos pop up, and then you sort of build them into these little things. It felt like the Lego video games, and I was just like...
Well, when I first saw it fall down, when I first saw the rubble, like, fall down, I was like, man, that looks, like, really bad.
Yeah, it was
and
like,
then,
oh, that looks fake.
And then I saw that it turned into credits, and I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. And it was perfectly synced with the music.
Yeah.
The music design for the whole movie was fantastic until the credits. And then the credits...
Yeah, the credits just...
Way to go out on a low fucking note.
Yeah, Iggy Azalea
and the made-for-the-movie song that actually is talking about the Kingsmen and stuff. And
yeah, it wasn't good.
We are the Kingsmen. We're going to turn the volume up. Oh my god, it was bad.
I'm kind of disappointed that it didn't have like an end credits, like James Bond thing that has been pretty prevalent in movies now. Mm-hmm. I really wish they put that at the beginning of movies, but it's nice to see these little credits at the end.
With like a little story on it.
Yeah, with little title screens and stuff.
Even the movie What If, which was an okay movie. It's a hipster love story. But they had a credit scene where it's an animated sequence of kind of everything you missed in the middle of the movie that they didn't show. So you actually see the missing gap in animation, and it's very cute. I was like, wow, those are really nicely done end credits. And you don't see that a whole lot, except for comic book movies.
Yeah, well, it pretty much comes with the territory with comic book movies, which this movie was, so I don't see why they didn't. Plus, if they're
it would have been nice to see any artwork or similar art style to the original. Like the original comics. Like, if you animated the credits in the same style, that could have been very cool. But back to what we liked about it. Instead of picking apart, that's the worst part of the movie for us was the credits. That's a good thing.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's like super nitpicky though. But it was fantastic. So,
and here at All Walks of Film, we do nitpick movies. So if you're not somebody who likes nitpicking, bear with us.
Yeah. So, you have this kid who's a street rat kind of kid, but he's British. And, well, the beginning of the movie, his dad dies, and you see Colin Firth go up to him as a little kid, hand him the medal with the number, and he grows up, and he still has that little medal thing.
He grows up to be a wanker.
Well, he grows up to be a gymnast parkour motherfucker, and it's awesome. But he doesn't give two shits about his life because he has a abusive stepdad, who I was totally on board the very first scene we saw, the way that they interacted. It felt very realistic to me, and then it just became more and more outlandish and cartoonish as the movie went on. The, like, abusive stepfather character.
Yeah, he was a very cartoony character, but...
Yeah. That first scene was very good, though.
Yeah, well, there were a lot of characters that were...
Yeah.
Yeah, cartoony.
Yeah. They had The Shining towards the end. Here's Mommy!
Yeah. Totally.
But... So... The Secret Service, the Kingsmen Secret Service, is playing off of the Knights of the Round Table. So you have Arthur and Merlin, which is a little painful, and then you have 12 knights who all have like their knight code name. But
why
now their
the
suits
room
are
round?
Yeah,
why
no
wasn't
round
the table round?
No round table. Yeah. No knight imagery anywhere.
Yeah, which they have code names for knights.
Mm-hmm. As in like Lancelot, Galahad, etc.
Right, but they don't incorporate any knight imagery, which
like they verbally do. They say that a suit is our suit of armor.
But I would have liked to see with their underground layer. I would have liked to see with their underground layer that taken a little bit further.
Or to see a dragon. That would be too much. I'm just joking.
Well, like maybe like a knight suit when they head into...
Yeah, there were no suits, there were no shields, there were no swords.
Right, and if everything about them has to do with that, they would have had some more night imagery.
Something at least a little, like some sort of tchotchke or something a little gimmicky that like plays it up or something, but they totally didn't do that.
No, but instead they were focused on classy suits.
Yeah, to focus on the positive.
And
all the gadgets were awesome.
Yeah.
And the 3D glasses thing was actually really cool and worked.
What was your favorite gadget?
Ooh, you go first, because I know you have one in mind.
Oh, my favorite gadget was the bomb.
The lighter hand grenade?
Lighter hand grenade.
I mean, I really like the umbrella because that's not a new concept. I've seen it a few times before, but I've never seen it that cool. With the shield, with the... I've seen it used as a shield before. I've seen it used as a gun before, or used as a sword. But in this one, it was a gun and a shield, and it had, like, the X-ray vision thingy to it. And it was cool! And it looked, like, kind of silly. It looked silly. But it was really badass. It was cool.
Totally.
And all the action was superb.
Yeah,
all of it. All of the action was fantastic.
I do believe that the fight choreographer and the cinematographer from Kick-Ass worked on this movie.
Like.
If they didn't, they definitely borrowed the style from it. Mm-hmm. All the action was very well choreographed, and you could tell what was going on with every single fight.
Yeah, it was very stylized, but very clear.
Yeah.
And very fast. Very fast. None of this, like, super fast motion, and then slow. And then super fast motion, and then slow. No, it was just boom, 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 the whole time, and it was awesome.
There were a couple slow-mo shots, but the slow-mo shots...
Like, what, 2?
Yeah, there was one where the tooth flew, and the guy was staring at the tooth, but... That's something that you want to have in slow-mo. If you're going to do something in slow-mo,
what else did they even have in slow-mo? They had, like, almost nothing in slow-mo.
The guy gets sliced in half.
Well, that wasn't in slow-mo. It just happened slowly.
Which was totally borrowed from Ichi the Killer, by the way.
Well, that character, that doesn't surprise me at all. Like, that seems a very Takashi Miike type of character.
Yeah, Takashi Miike did have a character... called Ichi in the movie Ichi the Killer that had a knife on the back of his boot, and he would like kick up in the air and slice people in half.
Yeah, so like this chick. By the way, super badass chick. Oh my god, she was she was the second coolest character in the whole movie.
I would have liked it if they had expanded a little bit more on her character so she wasn't just totally one note.
I was actually really happy that we didn't have to go into tragic backstory of how her feet got cut. No, she was just a hardcore motherfucker that was gonna fuck you up. She was awesome.
Yeah, it almost makes me think that she like cut off her feet because they were like bringing her down or something.
Oh my god, that would be so cool. I loved her. I loved her feet. I loved all her fighting. I loved her really cool demeanor. She was still very feminine. She wasn't just like...
Which they had to have borrowed from like Christy Montero from Tekken.
She kind of reminded me of Go-Go a little bit. She wasn't psychotic like Go-Go, but she kind of had that like intensity. Like that same fighting intensity. Just like
from
so
Kill
driven.
Bill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kill Bill, Go-Go.
Oh, Chihiro from...
Chihiro. Yeah.
From Battle Royale.
Yeah. Same character, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because, Quentin Tarantino saw that and was like, I want that character in this movie for this scene, so I'm just going to make that happen.
The guy that she, like, fucks up near the beginning of that movie...
Is the same dude, right?
Is the same dude that was trying to sleep with her in the movie Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So,
but she had that same fighting intensity, and she was so cool. I love the fact that I hate skirts with that zipper up the back. I hate that. But for her, it works. It's done that way so she can just take it off and fight for real. She didn't have some, like, stupid skimpy outfit that totally didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like the fact that this is one of the few movies, especially, like, action movies, that doesn't really have...
She never hit her feet either. That never happened.
Yeah, but there really isn't an excessive objectification of women in this movie.
Until the very end. There is no sex, there is no kissing, there are no naked chicks. And then the very end, which was awesome.
Oh, man. So,
dude, you can't tell me that after he saved the entire planet, he didn't earn that.
Yeah, he saved the entire planet. He earns anal.
Yeah, that's seriously, that's what she says. She says, if you save the world, I'll let you do me in my asshole.
Yeah.
And Princess Tilde. Princess Peach, pretty much, but whatever, I'm cool with it. A++ extra bonus points for this movie. Having one of the knights who actually does become a knight be a chick, for one, and for two, chick and a dude have a very close friendship, and that's all it is. It never is just a friendship when I want it to be just a friendship. That's
I also
all it
like
needs
the
to
fact that the main character failed.
Yeah, he failed.
And he didn't become the new Lancelot.
No.
And then they didn't try to kill the chick off so that he then becomes the Lancelot.
I would have screamed bloody murder if that was the case.
Well, that's a common trope. And the movie is very self-aware of tropes.
Well, yeah, they did all these movie tropes, like, really subtle ones. Like, nobody ever says goodbye when they hang up a phone. And every time somebody knocks, it's shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Every time somebody knocks, that's what it is. Which is a movie trope. Like, they're tropes in movies, like in action movies.
I have not seen shave and a haircut that many times in movies.
Maybe I didn't notice it, but it is very prevalent.
I mean,
in movies and TV shows, it's
prevalent.
Like, for real. It's a thing.
Well, no, the 3 knocks is usually...
It's not 3 knocks. It's shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
I'm telling you, it's 3 knocks. I'm telling you, it's 3 knocks, or dun dun dun. Yeah, 3 knocks. So.
But in action movies?
Yeah, or it's like,
well, like the thing where, like,
or it's like 5 knocks if somebody's like really mad, like really wants somebody to come in.
Well, it's not like a cop is gonna do shave and a haircut 2 bits, but a lot of characters do that.
Yeah. Well,
where it's like a scene where it's like, oh, who's at the door? It's always shave and a haircut 2 bits.
Yeah.
For real. Or like,
we're nitpicking knocks right now.
No, but it was one of the things where it's like so with intent. They intentionally fulfill all these tropes, and they talk about tropes of spy movies in the movie, which again is not new. It's breaking the fourth wall, and everybody fucking knows it. But it's fine.
Samuel Jackson is environmentalist terrorist with a lisp.
Just so everyone knows, I'm not doing that. I will not do that.
Well, that's how Samuel Jackson talks in the movie.
I'm not doing that.
What?
I'm not associating with that.
He talked with a lisp.
A little bit.
It was kind of distracting, but I forgive it because it was kind of a joke in and of itself. Like, he makes a comment that British people talk so strange.
Oh, yeah. You guys all talk funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was a very self-aware character, too.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the McDonald's product placement.
Yeah, one of the best product placements we've seen in the movie recently, yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like, when it comes on, you know, oh, here we go, here's the product placement of the movie. Derp. You know, they weren't trying to cover it up like Big Bang Theory does.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory always like tries to be, quote-unquote, clever and work their product placements into the storyline or into the script.
Well, it's not like Demolition Man, where like Taco Bell is the only restaurant.
Yeah, or like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Harold and Kumar is great, though.
I'm not putting it down for that. I'm just saying, like,
the entire movie is product placement.
Yeah.
At least it's better than Mac and Me.
Ooh, ouch, 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 ouch.
The E.T. McDonald's movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, and that's why I said ouch.
Yeah, check out the Doug Walker's video on it, the Nostalgia Critic. It's hilarious. I probably couldn't watch the movie, but I loved watching his video on it.
So back to the movie we did see. I don't quite know how I feel about the fact that the villain was an environmentalist who was all about people being violent with each other. That was kind of weird.
I'm trying to think of... I've seen this before.
Yeah, I know, right? Like an environmentalist who's the bad guy. We have seen this before. I'm trying to think of something that's not Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke doesn't count. Because nobody's the bad guy, but yeah, I'm saying it kind of shows... Princess Mononoke kind of shows both sides to both environmentalism and industrialism. So, not that doesn't count. I'm just trying to think of something else. Because
the anime X is all about that. You got the force of nature, and the forces of heaven, and they like conflict with each other.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to think, because it's not the first time I've seen this, but
Dragons of Heaven and Dragons of Earth. That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh, you know what we did see earlier this year that they referenced in the movie? That's like what it's all about. It's Noah.
Oh, yeah.
They're killing all the people because the people are killing the earth, and the people are killing each other. So, like, I sort of
Samuel Jackson was talking about how, in the story of Noah, God isn't the bad guy.
Noah's not the
bad guy.
The animals in the ark, which is all the people in the room at the time, are not... He didn't... Well, I guess animals weren't going to die from his Valentine SIM card chip thingy.
Yeah, and then all their heads blow up to competent circumstance.
Yeah! Oh my god, that was fantastic.
Yeah. Totally wasn't expecting that either.
No. Oh my god, that was funny. But
I bet the director wanted something a little bit gorier, but...
Yeah.
The ratings people probably were like, no, you gotta tone it down.
Yeah.
Just make it like fireworks or something.
Yeah, weird thing about this movie is that for like the first half of it, I totally had no idea why it was rated R. Because I was like, wow, this is very teenage friendly. Like, in a good way. Yeah. I wasn't saying that to put down the movie. But then, towards the end, the violence did get to be way more intense. In a very good way. And then you threw anal sex in there, and you can't really let, like, kids or younger teenagers see that stuff. I get it.
Well, you didn't see anal sex. They just suggested that was a possibility.
You can do me in my asshole. Yeah. She says that. And then you see her ass. And you know what's happening. Yeah. So, it was very blatant without showing it, I guess, but it was very blatant.
You can see ass in a PG-13 movie. You just can't see
But
tits.
when you know his dick is
no
going
tits
in
in
the
this
ass,
movie.
it's different.
Yeah.
When you specifically mention multiple times beforehand what that means, it's different. I'm not saying that's the way it should or shouldn't be, but it's just like, I kind of see why it has an R rating now. I get it. Yeah. You can't show this to kids.
Well, that and the extremely violent but very satisfying Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh my god, the church
fight scene.
Yeah, the church was the action centerpiece of the film. And it's very weird because when that scene happens, you have no idea what's happening. Like, you don't know that the microchips are making everybody kill each other. You don't know why he's killing everybody. But it's just, all of a sudden, everybody's killing each other, but you're totally on board because it's really, really fucking good.
At first, you just think that Colin Firth just went into a rampage.
Oh my god, I have to say the line. Can I say the line?
Yeah.
Can I please say the line? Okay, you be the woman. You be the woman. This was fantastic. Be the chick.
Where are you going?
Oh, well, I'm a Catholic who copulates out of wedlock with my black boyfriend who works in a military abortion clinic. So I'm just gonna leave now. Excuse me. Oh my god, that was crazy. I did not ever expect that to come out of the mouth of a British dude. Oh my god. Just, jaw dropped.
And I knew going in that Colin Firth was going to be a badass in this movie.
Oh, he was so cool.
But it's kind of one of those things that you don't expect from like an actor like Colin Firth, because like, what is he in? Jane Austen movies.
He was badass.
Yeah.
He was the most #1 coolest badass motherfucker in this movie.
Oh,
he was badass.
He could make anything in the movie cool. Like, I bet you he could take a shit and look cool in the movie.
I don't particularly want to see that, but I don't think that would happen.
No, it wouldn't.
Don't picture that. Shame on you for putting that into the minds of everybody listening. Shame on you. Oh man, that was such a fun movie.
I think I might retract that.
That was a fun movie though. Like just number one, top notch, and technically passes the Bechdel test.
Fuck the Bechdel test.
I know, but I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm sorry for anybody who is getting angry at me for saying that right now.
You really can't use the Bechdel
break
test as any sort of standard. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but it here's the thing. I've seen plenty of movies that are positive to women that don't pass the Bechdel test because there are not enough women in the movie, which you could then argue is bad and all this kind of stuff. But like Tree of Life is a great movie. Well, it's centered around one boy's view of the world, and he views his mother in like a heavenly light, but at the same time having two women have a conversation about something other than him would take us out of the movie, and it's a bad standard. You know,
no, it's
positive
true,
women roles is what you should aim for.
Yeah,
Bechdel test is kind of bullshit.
And in this movie, there's a total of really 5 female characters that play
except a couple of them. A couple of them get picked off, but you know.
That's not no, they don't.
Oh, I was talking about the one.
Amelia never died. The first chick who drowned did not die. They very blatantly said in the movie that she didn't die.
Fuck!
That they planted her.
Okay.
Which makes sense because I called bullshit. I was like, how the fuck did she die that fast? No way! So when they said that didn't actually happen, I was like, okay. Alrighty, cool. You get a pass. That's fine. But, yeah, none of the chicks died. But you only had 2 chicks who talked to each other. Nobody else talked to each other. But there were 5 chicks in the movie.
No.
And one of them was Princess Peach.
Oh.
And I mean that in a very suggestive way. Yeah. And the only minority really in the movie was the one black dude who was the villain who wanted everybody to die.
Yeah, and Samuel Jackson did ham it up a lot for this role, which he normally does when he's a bad guy. I do think he's great as a... You haven't seen the movie. Fuck.
Well, we both, I was just like, oh my god, Lancelot, when Lancelot was first on, because it's the dude from Coupling! And then he died immediately. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he was also the villain
and he was not going to come back from being sliced directly down the middle.
He was also the villain in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, for other people, yeah. He was. The really douchey one.
Yeah.
That's pretty much who he is in this movie, too. He's the really douchey one. Just so you know, that's who he is. But I like him. And props up for... Okay, first of all, I was kind of shocked when Colin Firth died. Not because he died, but because of the way he died. Because it was so... It happened so fast and nothing happened afterwards.
Right. Normally when something like this happens, it's like this huge dramatic scene where the hero is like screaming and then he goes into beast mode and like kills a whole bunch of people.
And he holds the dead person in his hand and vows vengeance, and you have the Dr. Spock funeral scene with Amazing Grace.
I was a little scared that they were going to recreate the death in Kick-Ass. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Where...
Don't say it because... Wait! Hey! We said spoilers for Kingsman Service. We did not say spoilers for other movies. He just shrugged. So just leave it alone, dude.
Just set it out.
Yeah, I know! Why'd you do that? That's why I told you not to. Bad podcaster. But I was kind of shocked when Colin Firth died. Just because of the manner in which he died, and I was just like,
Can I spoil Star Wars?
No. Yes, you can. I mean, that's old enough. Kick-Ass is not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Kick-Ass is not Star Wars. So.
I'll spoil Game of Thrones. Lots of people die.
Stop it.
That's my spoiler for Game of Thrones. Lots of people die.
Stop it. I'm smacking him on the hand for being a bad podcaster. But Colin Firth never came back.
Yeah, he didn't come back.
He never came back. Nothing happened to him. Because I was kind of just like, I hate... That's seriously one of my all-time least favorite tropes ever, 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 ever. I hate it. I hate it.
The cop-out death?
The cop-out death. I fucking hate cop-out deaths because it's so prevalent that usually when a character dies, I don't even feel anything. Because I'm like, oh, we're going to see them again in 5 minutes. It's fine.
No.
It's totally fine.
Also, it's become a rule that if you don't actually see a character die on screen, you can safely assume that they probably didn't die.
Yeah, and we don't see the bullet go into his head. So it could have been he missed. It could have been he got shot in his bulletproof suit.
Yeah, that's originally what I thought happened.
That
because
never came
you
into
didn't
play.
see him. You didn't actually see him get shot in the head. So I was like, oh, he shot him in the suit. Bulletproof suit, even though
we never saw that happen.
Well, realistically speaking, bulletproof doesn't really mean bulletproof, even though movies fuck that up all the time.
No, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But, he didn't come back at all, so props up for that as well. Like, they employed so many spy movie tropes, but they were still very smart and aware and did a lot of things that didn't involve tropes at all. Like, the dude, Eggsy, and Lancelot chick never hooked up.
Eggsy? He was called both in the movie.
No, but his name was Eggsy. His name was Greg. I don't know how you got Eggsy out of Greg, except for the fact that the actor's name is like Egerton or something.
Yeah.
The actor's name, not the character, is like it's Terry Egerton or something like that. You have it pulled up. Why am I saying that? But he and Lancelot chick never ever kissed, never ever hooked up, never had a moment where they looked into each other's eyes. They were just good buds, and that was it. Awesome!
Yeah.
Awesome! I was totally on board for that.
And for the first time in movie history, don't. I'm referring...
Oh!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. That's right.
So, I really liked how this was a deconstruction of the spy movie genre. It's something that I grew up loving. I remember when I was about 12 years old, I saw the movie The Spy Who Loved Me.
Okay.
Which was a Roger Moore James Bond movie. And this was actually during the time of GoldenEye, but I saw The Spy Who Loved Me because my mom was like, hey, check out James Bond. And I was like, James Bond? I don't know who this is. I didn't know much about James Bond because, James Bond was just making a resurgence. GoldenEye had just came out, and most people knew about James Bond from the video game and not actually the movies. Because GoldenEye was possibly the biggest game ever to come out in the 90s. I mean, you can argue Zelda, but I would argue that GoldenEye was that game that a whole bunch of people just came in and just loved playing all the time, shooting up Russians and all this kind of stuff. It was awesome. But James Bond, while he is a household name and the oldest franchise, it wasn't as big. And, when I was a little kid, we were into stuff like Mortal Kombat and stuff. So I just
finish him.
Yeah. So I just didn't know much about James Bond, and then I got super into James Bond, and I've watched every single James Bond movie, including the Peter Sellers James Bond movie, Casino Royale, which is a farcical look where Orson Welles is the bad guy.
Okay.
And they call upon American support in the movie, and cowboys and Indians come in the room. It's hilarious.
Okay.
So, I really love the Kingsmen. It's just fun. So often we get serious movies, and while I really like the Daniel Craig...
Or movies that are supposed to be fun, but are really just too stupid.
Yeah, but it's a thin line, too.
Or movies that are stupid and not fun, like Godzilla, where it wasn't either one, where it was just bullshit.
Yeah. And I know I haven't put this up on YouTube, but if you check out our Podomatic, we did talk about Godzilla, but the audio is really bad, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, because that was actually an old podcast that we dug up from when it came out.
Yeah, and
so
plus,
we didn't have nice
we
sound
didn't
equipment.
have the sound equipment that we have now.
Yeah.
So.
But that movie was bullshit. Where it wasn't fun and it was super stupid.
Yeah, I mean, even people who like it, like, everybody admits that the humans were stupid. The humans make up 70% of the movie.
Yeah, Godzilla is in less than 8 minutes.
So how is that a great movie?
No, like, it's not. Because Godzilla...
How much do you have to forgive about that movie to enjoy it?
Well, here's the thing.
Most of the movie, right?
Godzilla is in 8 minutes out of an over 2 hour long movie. And during the last 5 minutes that he's on screen, they fake his death twice.
Yep.
Most of Godzilla is him dying and coming back to life and dying again and coming back to life. And that's Godzilla movie. Because the rest of it is bullshit except for Michael Cranston.
No fake out deaths in the Kingsmen.
I just said that.
Seriously, like not only Colin Firth, but like other deaths too. Okay. Weren't fake outs.
Yeah. But Bryan Cranston was good in Godzilla. His character was shit. It was just Bryan Cranston is awesome. So he made a really crappy character seem kind of cool.
Bryan Cranston, you're done with Breaking Bad. Be awesome. Just be in lots of awesome stuff. That's what we all want to see you do.
That's it.
I mean, if you're going to be Heisenberg in a fucking Hollywood movie, people would pay to go see that.
He made insurance commercials look cool.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, what's your familiarity with like spy movies? Like, other than James Bond, or like what James Bond movies have you seen?
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be extremely unpopular, and that's okay. I hate the new James Bond series. I hate the Daniel Craig James Bond movies.
I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people say that's because it doesn't have the fun of like the Connery.
Yeah, it's like if James Bond was Batman, but without the cool villains to work off of, where he's just like morose and depressed all the time.
I like it because that's...
Except for not nearly as cool as the idea of Batman being James Bond. That's a much cooler idea than what actually happened in the movies.
I like the brooding James Bond, but that's because that's the original idea of James Bond, and it was written from...
Well, you can be brooding, but still be a cool... Batman is brooding, but he's still an okay... Like, he's still an awesome character in general. But Daniel Craig was just, like, not... No.
And Eggy wasn't brooding at all, really.
Yeah, he had like some angst. He was kind of angsty, and he kind of worked that out.
Well,
and came out on top.
He had more of like a Cockney edge, which he wasn't Cockney, but it was the style, like the British street punk.
Surly sarcastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed this movie way more than the new James Bond series by like a whole lot. Ugh.
I don't know. I'm really excited for Spectre.
That's fine.
Or Spectre AI.
Yeah, you totally go watch it and enjoy it, and I'll stay home and do homework that night or something. I'm just like really not. I don't like Daniel Craig's James Bond at all.
I think Casino Royale is amazing.
That's okay. That's like I said. I'm gonna be unpopular for my opinion on it. That's totally cool.
No, I
don't like it.
Lots of people hate it. I mean, well, hell. I was totally unpopular with my view on Firefly, and I will take the slack for it, and please, people, give me slack for it.
But you like it.
I did like it, but I was overly critical about it, to the point where somebody could assume that I don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Other than that, my favorite spy movie growing up, and I know you have the wrong impression of what this movie is, but when I was growing up, for me, it was Harriet the Spy.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but the reason you told me the reason you hadn't seen it was because it looked like a girly movie, and that's really not what it was.
Well, it was a Nickelodeon movie too, so I was kind of like,
that's true. Yeah, Nickelodeon is not good. Oh, that's true. That's a bad mark against it. That's true. But that was actually a good movie of like this little kid who wanted to be a spy. So when I was a kid, I didn't see like a lot of spy movies. But I read a lot of spy books.
Yeah, did you read Encyclopedia Brown at all?
No, not really. I read one book and I was like,
I don't know. I thought Encyclopedia Brown was kind of cool. I read
Alias. That was the other thing. Was when I was a kid growing up, like when I was like maybe 7 or 8, I started watching Alias.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess I'm more familiar with chick spies than like dude spies, which are very different.
Yeah, and that kind of started from the movie Luc Besson's La Femme Nikita,
yes,
which has later been turned into 2 successful TV shows.
Dude, I don't know if the new one's successful. Is the new one successful?
For CW standards.
Yeah.
Hi, we're the CW. We're the opposite of Fox, where we never cancel our shows.
That's true.
Except for Veronica Mars, right?
Yeah, which sucked because Veronica Mars. First 2 seasons of Veronica Mars were really. Oh, another chick spy. Actually, yeah, she's a very realistic spy. She has gadgets, but it's all stuff like normal daily stuff that everybody uses. It's not like lighter grenades.
Well,
that was more Alias, where they had like all the gadgets and gimmicks and.
Well, that's a
stuff.
James Bond trope that spy movies have borrowed from.
Yeah.
Because
there's a scene in Alias where they hand Sydney Bristow a bug, and it's shaped like a bug. It's just like, really, you guys? And they're like, we're the CIA. We have a sense of humor too. It's all good. And she's just like, this is totally stupid, you guys. That was pretty funny. But yeah, that show was really more about like the cool gadgets and going different places around the world and the disguises and the costumes and all that cool stuff and the human drama and the angst and the fun and everything together. I dug Alias. I didn't finish it, and kind of on purpose.
Yeah, I heard that Alias kind of had a dip.
Yeah, I've seen the first 3 seasons multiple times.
Yeah.
I've seen season 4 once.
So that seems to be a trend with J.J. Abrams, that like the final season of his shows always like reach some kind of dip that most people aren't favorable of.
Yeah, I saw season 4 one time, and I saw it all the way through because I remembered the ending. But then I never saw season 5, and that was the last season.
No.
And I didn't see it. But I keep watching the first season over and over again because it's good.
Yeah, that's what I do with Earth Final Conflict, which was kind of a spy thriller show having to deal with aliens coming to Earth, and their intentions are not very clear, and there's a resistance that builds up, and they are like sleeper agents.
Yeah. They had an episode of that in Alias with sleeper agents. We talked about it before.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to the Kingsmen, great movie. Really fun.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
the UK. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well, but I want. Are there American badass spies other than Jack Bauer?
Sydney Bristow is really fucking badass.
Sydney Bristow, yeah.
And Jennifer Garner did all her own stunts in that show too.
I know they tried with Triple X, and then Triple X State of the Union totally changed actors. It was like Ice Cube playing the actor, and like Ice Cube, I know like he's apparently like a badass like before he did Friday and like all these kids movies, but he seems soft to me.
Other thing in the Kingsmen that I incorrectly predicted. As soon as they showed the dogs, I was like, no! Don't show us the dogs! They're gonna kill every single last one of those fucking dogs. No! I was like really upset. And then none of the dogs died.
Yeah, but
none of the dogs ever died.
But Eggie was like, fuck you, I'm not killing this dog.
Yeah, he pointed the gun at Arthur. I was like, shit.
Also,
and
going
then
back
Arthur
to
said you didn't have balls. What the fuck? He was gonna kill you before he killed his dog.
Also, it was kind of funny that
he thought it was a pit bull.
Yeah.
He thought it was a pit bull.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's gonna get bigger, right? And it's like, no.
No, that's a pug. That's what you have to work with, dude.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not gonna get big, and it's not gonna get smart. It's just a pug.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the pug never did anything badass. I was kind of waiting for that, and that didn't really happen.
Well,
Pug attack!
I'm really excited I'm really excited about owning this movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm really anxious about sequels because, given the success of this movie, being number 2 in the box office, the only reason why it was number 2 was because it was competing with 50 Shades of Grey
on Valentine's weekend.
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah. How close was it? Like, how close was it between number 1 and number 2? Because I'll bet it wasn't very far.
So, 50 Shades of Grey did actually beat Passion of the Christ box office, which...
Oh, shit.
Which is huge.
Yeah, no kidding. Jeez.
Yeah.
But what was the difference between Kingsman Service and 50 Shades?
So it made $85.17 million.
Versus?
The Kingsmen made $36.2 million.
Oh, wow. So that's actually a big difference.
It's a huge difference, yeah.
Oh, shit. Well, they'll probably do better this weekend.
Yeah, they'll probably do better this weekend because, like,
I guarantee
how many boyfriends were like, dude, let's go see the Kingsmen, and the chick's like, no, we should watch 50 Shades of Grey.
When we saw 50 Shades of Grey, there were almost no couples.
Yeah.
It was all groups of friends.
Yeah, it was the single ladies going out.
You keep saying that. You can't say that they were all single just because they weren't with their boyfriends.
It was on fucking Valentine's Day.
So? So what?
Well, they could have been...
There were plenty of groups that were guys and girls, too. You don't know that, like, they didn't double date or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and
it just cracks me up the one dude who actually dressed up like Mr. Grey.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
He was in, like, a leather sports jacket with a tuxedo shirt and a bow tie, and he had his hair, like, just so. It was hilarious.
Yeah. So, go see the Kingsmen.
Go see it!
If you've seen it,
The UK! Fuck yeah!
Yeah, if you've seen it, you know.
Yeah.
And,
Giggle.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us. If you want to comment, please comment below. Or send us an email at allwalksofilm@gmail.com.
Yeah, please talk to us, talk to each other. We like lots of conversation.
And if there's anything that we're not doing right or something that you would like to see, let us know.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to make your experience as good as it can be.
So you're a stewardess.
Sure. I prefer to be a chauffeur.
A chauffeur. Just like the dude on Downton Abbey. You want to be the hot Irish dude on Downton Abbey? I apparently just think everybody's hot. Like I
was actually
every
talking
podcast.
about like Mark Strong from the Kingsmen.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I noticed like in all the podcasts, all I do is say, "Oh, she's cute. He's really hot. She's really hot," and I'm like, "Oh, well, it's Hollywood. Yeah, everybody is hot. Duh."
Yeah, except in a Todd Solondz film.
Eh.
And everybody's just painfully average.
Is there a way to be painfully average? I'm sure it's fine.
No, because it looks like us.
So?
No, that's good.
Normal people are attractive too. I'm not saying like Hollywood hotties are always attractive.
Yeah, well that's why like the TV show like Being Human.
Yeah, the
BBC
UK
show,
one, yeah.
Yeah, it got a lot of praise for how average everybody looked.
Except for sexy dwarf dude, Killy, the vampire dude.
Oh yeah. Well,
he was not average looking.
Yeah, well vampires have to be sexy for whatever reason.
I like the wolf guy. I think he's a cutie. And he's messed up.
Yeah. Anyways, well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
All right.